You've set up a business here in Serbia, either a Serbian-owned company or you've actually opened up a foreign company here in Serbia, but now it's time to hire some employees. Now, while some laws may be similar to where your parent company is or the country that you're operating from, Serbia has their own rules, and something that you have to keep up on is how Serbia functions when it comes to hiring employees here. And that's what we're going to get into today. So as someone like myself who has had employees in the past, there's many things that need to come into consideration when hiring your first, third, 10th, and 50th employee. And that comes to contracts, tax obligations, time and overtime pay, and what are the wages that are acceptable and how you should treat clients. And Serbia has their own set of rules here, and this goes for anyone that is operating in Serbia. So this could be someone that has opened up a company here in Serbia and is operating within an LLC or whatever it might be, or you've taken a parent company and open up a branch here in Serbia, and now you're looking to expand by hiring some locals here in Serbia. And there are some things that you need to look out for when you're doing so. For number one is the contract that you have to provide to your clients or to your employees here. Now, the default term when you offer a job opportunity to your employee is going to be a default of an indefinite term here. And if the contract doesn't say otherwise, it always falls onto an indefinite term where there is no actual time specified as to how long their employment will last. Now, before I go any further into this video, I just want to clarify this by no means is legal advice or financial advice. If this is something that you're looking to do here in Serbia, please feel free to reach out to us at relocationserbia.com, and I can put you in contact with one of our legal representatives or our tax advisors when it comes to your specific needs. Now, moving into the next portion of contracts is your fixed term. Now, there is a general cap of 24 months when you have a fixed term with your employees here in Serbia. And if it is not renewed within 5+ business days of their expiry, it automatically flips into the indefinite term automatically. Now, when it comes to probation, there is a option to have your client or your employees be on a probation, depending on the type of business that you're in. You may want to feel out your employees, especially if it's a technical skill that they're being hired for, or a specific need that you're trying to fill, and you're wanting to make sure that they actually fit that type of employee structure that you're looking for. So that is going to be capped at 6 months. You cannot go above 6 months. You can always do lower than that, but don't also try to reset the probation period by having a fixed term as well. So that means by, you're able to be on probation for 6 months, but your term also is going to be, for example, 6 months. And then after that term, you're going to rehire them for another probationary period. That, of course, is not going to work when it comes to the court system here. And again, I am not an attorney. I am not a tax advisor. I'm just passing on information from the research that we have done here. Now, one of the things that we can help with is structuring a bilingual contract for yourself and for the employees here in Serbia. We can help you choose the correct contract type that suits that type of employee that you're looking to hire, and of course, make sure that it's something that would pass when it comes to the HR inspection that you would get as a firm as well. Now let's hop into the overtime and the times of work and premiums that you have to pay as well. So typically, like many other countries, the full-time hours a week is 40 hours here, and is capped. Overtime is capped of at 8 hours per week, and you cannot exceed anything over 12 hours a day, which also includes overtime. So of course, 8 hours a day, and then you're going to be paying them overtime on that. Overtime is going to be paid at at least plus 26% of their regular pay, and that is going to be also on the night shift applied too. So if you're looking to have someone not work daytimes but nighttime hours, nighttime shift is going to be another 26% on as a regular pay. And then if you want overtime on top of that night shift, then you're of course going to have to pay above and beyond on that as well. So keep that in mind when it comes to what shifts you want your employees to work. So typically, the 7 to 3 is something that is pretty standard around here, or 9 to 5. But if you're someone that is working with overseas clients or international clients, you expect your employees to be working, the later hours or throughout the night. You're going to have to be paying them a premium when it comes to that. Now, the next thing you have to also understand is that employees here are entitled to an annual leave here. And this is very popular, especially during the summer months when kids are out of school. People typically will take their first half of annual leave, which is 10 days, and they'll take off to Greece. The total allotted time for annual leave, and this I have to confirm, but does not include sick days, is 20 days. So typically people will take 10 days in the summer to have their vacation time, and then another 10 days in the winter to have another vacation. And this does not, of course, include stat holidays. And so that is something beautiful. And I actually like that, because in Canada, you don't get 20 days of minimum leave day. You have to typically get 1 week first and then be there for a little bit at a company before you get your next week, and that's only for 14 days, which is still substantially less than the 20 days that are allotted here in Serbia. So where we can help when it comes to this is that we can help you set up a clean payroll policy that includes the overtime, the nighttime and holiday pay, and that it's in accordance to the local laws here in Serbia as well. The next thing you have to look at as an employer here in Serbia is your payroll, your taxes, and your contributions. Now, the salary here is the income tax here on salary is a flat rate 10%, which I've mentioned in previous videos, which is very nice compared to what most North Americans are getting taxed at when it comes to being an employee. Here, of course, I just mentioned, 10% is on a flat rate tax. So it doesn't matter if you're making 1,000 euros or 5,000 euros a month, you're still going to get taxed at 10%, whereas many other countries, they have a ladder system or a threshold system where if you make between one amount and another amount, you're taxed at that tax bracket. And if you make above one bracket into another bracket, you're taxed higher. So the more you make, technically, the more you're taxed. And it's pretty refreshing being in a country that has a flat income tax rate. And so what we have to also look at is the social contributions. As of 2025, the employee's pension is 14%, health care is 5.15%, and unemployment is 0.75% in contributions. The employer has a 10% contribution rate, a 5.15% contribution rate, and a couple other taxes that need to be added in there, which is a combined burden of about 35% of the gross. One thing you also have to look at there is the base pay. Now, the base pay here in Serbia is 45,950 RSD per month. Okay, so you have to pay them a minimum of that per month, and the maximum allotted is 656,425 dinars per month as well. Now, there are some ways to get around that maximum, of course, and that is something that you're going to have to talk to a bookkeeper, a tax advisor, or a legal professional when it comes to that. And we have all those at our disposals, of course. And so, what you also have to look at is what the employee rights are that you cannot skip, because of course employee rights differ from country to country, and Serbia is no exception. So one thing for sure is you have to have written contracts, you have to have your working time limits, paid annual leave, overtime premiums, and proper record keeping are all statutory regulations here in Serbia. And we do have people that are on our team that help with payroll, that helps with taxes, that issue the checks for employees. And so that it's a one-stop shop, so you don't have to go and kind of piece everything together, especially if you are a foreign entity in the country as well. And so sick leave and special leaves are also regulated here in Serbia, and we have to help you out with those rule books that have to also comply with HR regulations. Now, some common pitfalls that businesses get into here when they're either setting up a business or setting up a branch here in Serbia is that they're misclassifying what a contractor is. Now, if you control a contractor's schedule, if you give them tools and they're exclusively working for you, they're actually going to fall under an employee type of structure, and so you're going to have them classified as a employee. You're going to have to expect to tax them properly, put them onto payroll, pay the contributions on there. One of the things that I like to look at when using contractors is, and I learned this from my construction era, is that you can work with contractors and use contractors specifically, but you have to also make sure that they are able to work for other individuals. So they are not exclusively to you. You can let them know, hey, listen, I have this project that needs to be done by this time, but you do not control their schedule. You also set certain payment deals. You actually have a contract with your contractors rather than an employee contract, should I say, per se. And so the other one is that people like to abuse the fixed term or probation terms here in Serbia, and exceeding the 24 months or using fixed terms just to extend probation. So people are getting penalized for that, and that's something that we'll help you, not get into that type of hot waters per se. And then one of the other and the biggest problems we see is that people are trying to use the regulations from their home country into Serbia, and so what they're doing is late or incorrect registrations. And so you have to make sure that all the registrations as to employee, as to payroll, as to SOPs, all that type of stuff is actually submitted on time, because you will have inspectors that come and check on if your business is actually working as it should be here in Serbia and up to those regulations. Now, if you're a company and you cannot find any local workers and you're looking to bring in foreign workers into Serbia, Serbia now uses a single residence and work permit that is filed electronically. Again, that is something that we can help corporate clients work with. We cannot work with personal clients because we get many people reaching out to us saying, hey, listen, I am looking for a job. Can you find me a job and get me a work permit? We do not do that, but if we work with a corporate client like we have, and they say, hey, we have a business here established, we need to get foreign workers, we'll find the foreign workers, but can you help us with the work permit and the residency permit for our company, because we just don't know how that operation works. That is where we come into play, and so we're able to get those work permits and residency permits for our corporate clients only, and they're valid for up to 3 years. Then you also have the option for some of your employers to bring their families here, their siblings, and be brought in under the family reunification process as well. And so we're able to coordinate all that as a single permit pipeline here. So we are able to get you started from the beginning of getting your business proposal ready or your business contracts ready, and then up to bringing in your employees, and then of course managing your payroll. So one quick compliance checklist is that all your contracts are in writing, you use the correct contracts, you have working time cap, your proper overtime, your registers and filings are completed on time as well. Contractor test, make sure that you're not controlling your contractors, that they are not actually falling under an employee and rather than a contractor where they have other work outside of you. They're not their own, that you are not their single source of income. That's another thing that I have to make sure that I mention in this video. And so if you're looking to set up a business here in Serbia, hiring employees, or looking to open up a branch here in Serbia and looking to hire employees, feel free to reach out to us. We can help you every step of the way.